Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Not Worth a Cork digital podcast edition. Tonight we are not doing the Cardrona whiskey from New Zealand. We are, in fact, going to be doing Loch Lomond from very much not New Zealand. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. As ever, joining me this evening is Meg. Say hello, Meg.
I like that you think that, the title's going to have Cardrona written on YouTube or something. Hi, by the way. Hi. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining us on Discord, and those who listen to this on the YouTubes. Hope you're all well. We were meant to be doing Cardrona, but it turns out the whiskey shop did two different versions of the Cardrona Distillery digital dram sets, and I have in my hand the original version because, and David will explain in a second, how they make and manufacture and ship their whiskey. Turns out they do something different. So David has a different sample set to myself, but I will order, with what little points I have left, and I have enough to get another sample set, the other Cardrona set, so David and I can do another one of these in the near future with incredibly potent whiskies. And the extra set I have, he and I will just at some point do when I go up to Norwich, because we can do half a sample each, and that's totally okay. Yes.
Yeah, that strength, that will be sufficient, yes.
Yes, it certainly will be, and it'll be an interesting evening once we've worked out what we're doing with the vodka samples. There'll be 3 by that point, and I'm still not... I mean, I might try one, just half of one out of curiosity, but nothing more than that. So yes, we're going to be doing Loch Lomond. I had sent this to David because I had points from completing the whiskey shop, and I have a few of the golf editions. We were going to do a golf stream in the future. That's unlikely to happen any time in the near future. But we can do the sample set at least. And we've got 5 samples to go through. And 2 of them, 3... Okay, I've not had any of them. But 2 of them aren't even released yet. So we get to enjoy something very new and very interesting that might effervesce.
This is true.
You're up.
Good old effervescing. Yeah. So fortunately you had done this because, yes, as Meg said, we both have a Cardrona set and they're different. I got confused earlier when you were saying about how many samples his set had, and I was like, mine has 4 and a vodka. You're saying yours has 4 including the vodka.
So
this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, so when I said that, in my head, my thought was, this would make sense because I might have thought I took the vodka out, because I thought I might have done that. So in my head, that's what I was thinking until just before we started. We were discussing this on Discord, and it occurred to us that we don't have the same set. And it was confirmed to me before you'd said it, because I was reading the names of the samples, and I was like, not one of these is the same as mine. I am very confused. I've never known them to do more than one from the same distillery. That's what threw me.
No.
So yes, a bit of a...
Well, you had a booklet, and mine doesn't have a booklet, so I was like, hang on. Either they've added an extra whiskey into mine and forgotten the booklet, or...
They just want me to read. Anyway, since we've got 5 samples to make our way through, and not all the time in the world, we should, of course... Oh, hang on.
Commence.
That's okay, nobody notices me. Bri and Crispo, we do notice you on the Discords here. Do forgive, I have one screen I can't always read, but I might put Discord up on my tablet so I can at least then not totally ignore you, and you then won't feel like I'm abandoning you in some way. I'd hate for you to think that I didn't care, which is obvious enough. Anyway, yes, we're going to start with not what I was... So the original plan for this sample set, we were going to do a Not Worth a Cork episode with it, and then take my classic, which is their standard entry, Loch Lomond, and instead we're going to start with the perfectly balanced 12, which I think is a good place to start. If it's perfectly balanced, I look forward to it. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I've slightly different because I was planning to do some photos with the golf clubs, wasn't I, when we got round nearer to doing it?
That's all right.
But I'm sure we can survive.
I'm sure we can. I'll work it out. Yeah, we'll start with the 12 anyway. We should state, I do have a couple Loch Lomond's, but mine are all the Golf editions and the Classic, which is a birthday whiskey that David got me last year, which I'm not against. It's a nice, easy drinking whiskey. Something interesting about Loch Lomond, they are the only distillery to produce both malt whiskey and grain distiller whiskey on site. They produce both. They're the only distillery that does it. And they are the best distillery of 2024. They were voted that, in fact. And the 12, as you see on the screen for those on YouTube anyway, it's quite affordable for £34 right now, which is actually not bad for a 12. Well, we'll know about the taste. It also is a winner of 10 Spirit Awards. Loch Lomond produce a lot, by the way. They produce a lot of whiskey.
Yeah, I was just looking down and seeing the list of the awards. I was like, oh, hey, this is interesting.
Whiskey of the Month, not surprised they'd win that. Really? Sod off. They do produce a lot. Weirdly, interestingly, their 30-year-old, which I've put on the screen for YouTube purposes, I had considered buying that in January of this year. It was on my list, I promise you it was. Because I was like, I want a 30, and it's around the same price as the Bunnahabhain 30, and I thought, well, I'll go Bunnahabhain because heavy weighted box, take my money, get it. Yes, the 12.
You have more Bunnahabhains as well, so it makes more sense with your collection, I think.
Sure, yeah, that does. I thought it'd also go big or go home, or go big, eat all the chimkin, go home a day late. Anyway.
Well, definitely ate all the chimkin.
All but the one piece I left, yes.
True.
So, what do you smell when you have a inhale of this, Dr. David of Bay?
Inhaling. That is quite sweet.
It is. That's something I noticed with the classic. The classic Loch Lomond is quite sweet as well. No age statement for that. I think they do younger age statements, but they're more distillery exclusives, I think.
Yeah, there were a few when I was on Master Malt looking for some of the bottles. There were a few slightly odd ones pop up. They're like different people bottled them. I like
the bottles on these because they got a nice rounded sort of. They've just got a nice feel to them. It's a good solid bottle, right? Like a Johnny Walker, it's a nice solid bottle, unless it's red and platinum. But you know what I mean? Like it's a very, and it has that. It's good. And for those who are watching on YouTube, this is the Loch Lomond Classic that's not loading because apparently my internet's decided now to crap itself. I was going to put it up, and it's like £22.45 for a bottle of it. That's a pretty
good price. That's rivaling the.
It is 4 Spirit Awards as
American
well, so it's not bad. And the original, David got me that for my birthday last year. It's not bad whiskey, and I know that I have slightly expensive taste these days, even though I prefer slightly cheaper ones. But you can't go wrong with a nice, affordable whiskey. If that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway, it says on the nose here. That it's creamy vanilla with a touch of freshly baked apple turnover. I got a sweetness I would not have associated with apple turnovers, but the sugary perhaps, maybe. Definitely a vanilla-y quality, but not like like the 11-year-old English, strong. But it's still nice.
Yeah, and there is. I don't know if it's apple. There is something that.
Yeah.
It's fruity, but I'm trying to work out what fruit I think it is.
Well,
I don't think it's not apple.
Have a taste, because the palate opens up quite a bit, quite nicely, I might add. While you're doing that, I'm going to go to the comments. The first one, the worst. Not just the worst scotch, but the worst alcohol I've ever had. I read through reviews, and there is one review that echoed the same exact experience. I too called the liquor store and asked for an exchange, as this was so freaking bad. I've never, and I mean never, even considered a return or exchange before. Tastes like poison. Poison running through my veins. Yes, if you know that song, you know what I've said. Never had to let any scotch breathe to become drinkable. The people who don't know how to drink scotch is truly laughable. Worst scotch ever from a bloke in the United States. Which means, much like anyone with an OnlyFans account, your opinion is disregarded. American nationality detected, opinion rejected. There's a Canadian and a Norwegian listening to us on Discord. They will agree. Why? Because American. Thing is, for those on YouTube, you'll be seeing this. Yeah. Oh, my dog wants attention. Hello, Wizzy Woo. Do you want some treaties? I'll get you another treat. You can have one more this evening, and that's it. Okay, you've got to plump you up. One more. There you go. Okay. On the palate, though, brown sugar and 5 spice, not allspice, or ginger spice, old spice, scary spice, sporty spice, and the other spice that I can't remember. Orchard fruit note, baby spice. Orchard fruit notes continue with a hint of yellow plum. I've never had yellow plum. I had a plum tree when I was a kid, and me and my sisters would, and my dad, we'd eat though. My mum would too, actually. My dad didn't eat them. We did though. We loved them. Plums are great, and that's why I like plum pudding so much, because it's just so good. The finish, quite drying, which I agree with. A little woody smoke, still sweet with vanilla. Now, sweet and dry, yes. Didn't get any wood smoke, but I think it says subtle, so I could agree with that.
Yeah. So
and yes,
the whiskey shop one says medium with gentle wood smoke and a lingering peaty tang.
No.
Yeah. No.
Let me just num. No. Crithbo, they make theirs out of corn. Corn whiskey is an interesting one. I bought some as a joke, and David tried it. Remember we tried it? You had to dip with your finger.
Yes, yeah, they carried that fancy jug thing, didn't it?
Yeah, I gave it to my dad. He gave me the jug back empty, so I wanted the jug. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted the jug. It's a Platt whiskey. It's not great. It's just a mixer. You just pull that out to show off, and then you consume it because heron, you know.
I don't know, make all of their food out of corn. I'm pretty sure there's corn in all of the American food stuff.
Syrup.
Close enough.
Close enough. Well, we'll allow that. Why?
It's something that doesn't need to be in all their food that's in all of their food.
Apparently we have beige food, but never mind, doesn't matter. So on the description for this, it says 12-year-old single malt from Loch Lomond, who are well known to be able to produce a wide variety of styles in their Highland distillery. This particular expression was made using distillery's unique straight neck stills and more traditional swan neck stills, and aged in a selection of bourbon, refill, and recharged American oak casks. Recharged? What did you run a freaking 9-volt battery? Has been licked through it. Or did remix it, remaster it?
Yeah, leave it overnight.
Well, that'll do it, won't it? Probably wasn't. I bet it was NiCad batteries as well.
I'm going to assume they must mean recharged.
Yeah, well, it says recharged.
Oh, no.
They might have lightly toasted it slightly or skimmed some of the interior off just to get some of the newer wood more present. Loch Lomond make a lot of whiskey over the year. It's weirdly they make a lot and they sell a lot, yes, but they're not one of the most well-known names. And this raised an interesting conversation about sponsorships and sport, because I had long thought that alcohol couldn't sponsor any, be involved in sports that much, and then I kept forgetting Carling Cup. No, not called that, but then I was like, but I could have sworn like certain sports weren't allowed to have.
Well, it used to be, because obviously McLaren used to be sponsored by Johnny Walker and
I remember
stuff like that.
I remember cigarettes as well. I remember Marlboro being all over Ferrari. I remember that.
Marlboro Ferrari,
yeah, I remember that, and I to be honest support that. But the alcohol one made no sense to me.
The Embassy Snooker Championships.
Yeah. Oh, Embassy, Jesus. Well, I would.
Yeah, I think
I would have loved snooker more if it was the Silk Sluts, or Silk Cut, as it was the cigarette company Silk Cut. People called them Silk Sluts because it was always for the Silk Sluts, which it was a quaint name for the teenage mums. If you're offended by that, chances are you're a teenage mum. That's a you problem. Extremely strict laws. So yeah, I know that there are some very strict laws, and there have been for years. It's heavily regulated. Thank you for mentioning that as well, Crispo. It's interesting to me to see brands get back into it. And Loch Lomond have been involved in golf for years, because they've had, like Diageo special releases. They've had one at least for the past 5 years. I've got 3. They've done a couple of limited releases with a couple golfers as well, because I've got one of those. Because David and I this year we're going to do a Not Worth the Cork golf edition, but we can't. Just timing. But maybe in the future, we never know yet. Maybe in August, might do it then because might have chance then. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing to see. I thought anyway.
I'm reading the palette of the whiskey shop notes rather than the Master Malt one.
Yep.
Deeply fruited with lemon meringue, pear and orchard fruits leading to citrus, lemon, vanilla, and light biscuit.
That's a very interesting way. That's the thing with which way? It was Master of Malt. Two tasters had tried the same whiskey and come up with different notes, and I thought that was great because I could relate to some from both of them. Really, I thought that was fantastic. I enjoyed it, and it made my day.
That one makes more sense to me than the Master Malt ones, because I would say I get probably a bit more like the citrusiness.
So I don't. I get a nice softer, sweeter flavour. I don't notice the citrus as much. That might be our tongues, to be honest. I love citrus flavours, but I like lemon especially. But I'm not getting any lemon here. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of places around the world have a lot of laws about these things now, Crispo, to do with alcohol sponsorship. But yeah, I think there are still stuff in America sponsored by some of the alcohol companies.
That's state-based.
But over here,
I think
very common now.
That's why you don't have a Formula One. It's fine. Yet. How many races this year? 600. Congratulations.
I think there's 24 races this year, and at least 4 of them are in America.
Money. How many of them in the Middle East? Yes. Why? Tax.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so this is a 12. There are 2 12 age statements here. One of us should do the 12-second thing on this one. Do you want to do it, or should I do this one? You do the next one.
I don't mind.
The next one, just so give me a second to quickly look ahead. This one is it's just 12 in a. It's okay. Right, the first one's perfectly balanced. The other one's more orchard based. But
this one says orchard fruit. I are confused.
This one is in a red box called Perfectly Balanced.
I was going to say, I think we're getting to the point where the difference is red box, like blue box, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, green, blue. Yeah.
Greeny blue. Right?
Yeah. Well, for the sake of it, this one's the red box, Perfectly Balanced, and the other one is called Intense Orchard Fruit. So, which one would you rather?
I don't mind. That one says lots of pepper, so I'll let you suffer the pepper and the initial build up. So I'll go for this one.
All right, you do this one. I'm okay with that. I'm more than happy to deal with pepper. I'm so happy.
Right, let's
you get on with that.
Away we go.
If anyone has any questions while David subjects himself to 12 seconds of a perfectly balanced single malt Scotch whisky from the Highlands, do ask away, and of course we'll seek to answer it as best we can. If you're on YouTube, do put them in the comments, and we will naturally ignore it. No, I'm kidding. We'll happily reply. I say we. I will, because me. This one costs £34.50 at the moment. It's normally £42 on Master and Malt, which is actually not a bad price for a 12-year-old. And Crispo, I can't answer that question. It's just hate speech. What did you think of the 12 seconds, David?
It started off. I would say it started off quite balanced, but for me, as it lasted, it got a lot sharper, and it got to a point where actually swallowing it at the end, it was quite a sharp, quite short but quite sharp finish. It didn't have a lot of flavour left. It just kind of went a little bit acidic.
Yeah. Okay.
It started off, the first few seconds were quite nice. It was fairly fruity.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of.
So I can answer the second question Crispo's asked us here on Discord. Have I worn wigs? No, don't be stupid. I don't wear wigs. Nor does David, I don't believe. Neither of us require such a pointless thing. We're not judges. Will I wear wigs? No chance. I like my hair. Thank you.
I feel like Crispo is on a particular bent this evening to do with wigs.
That's fair. Nothing wrong with that. To answer all the questions concerning wigs, I will not have some scratchy piece of crap on my head. Thank you. Anyway, right.
Oh dear.
Okay, so, well, did you enjoy that at least? The 12 seconds of that?
Yeah, I mean, overall it was nice. I don't think it doesn't hold well. Well, not for my palate anyway.
Right.
So you know the Jameson orange.
Yeah, the orange.
Didn't like that because it was so like sharply flavoured.
Well, it was more
It
just
left a
intense
sort of
and
funny
citrus.
taste in the mouth.
It was very artificial.
Yeah, this is kind of a little bit like that.
Okay. Well, it's not. I quite like it as a drinking. It's good drinking whiskey. For the price,
Yeah.
it's certainly good.
Yeah, so if you don't do it that way. It was perfectly pleasant while I was just sipping it.
Dave sip or Meg sip?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm going to send mine because we've got to get on to the next one. YOLO swag fam. I see a heron there. You're right.
YOLO indeed.
Goes down nice.
It does actually. That's a lot different to how it
Yeah.
was
Nice.
holding in the mouth.
It's slightly building up heat slightly afterwards, but not like in the middle of my chest. So, but otherwise, goes down lovely actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any of the smoke and definitely no peat.
Agreed. Nothing like that. It's just a nice, smooth whiskey. I quite like that. Handily, when you move on to the second whiskey, well, David Aguas, I've already done it. The second one is called the Loch Lomond 12-year-old Insurin, spelt Inchmurin, Inchmurrin, pronounced Insurin. I don't know what's meant to be different about this, but it's apparently part of a rebrand. It says here, produced straight neck stills, 3 types of American oak, whereas the standard 12 is aged in selection of, I mean, that could be the same, but the flavours are slightly different. Yeah. So that, I don't really, it might be the 3 casks, the triple cask aspect of this that might be what differs on this one. It's not a limited edition one, by the way, because I have samples for Loch Lomond. I have a few samples actually, and the Insurin and the, I can hear myself back. The Insurin and the Inchmoan, or whatever it's called. I can hear myself back, David.
Sorry, so I'm just looking at the Master Malt website because I thought I'd opened this on the Master Malt website, and it turns out I hadn't because it's a different one.
Okay. Why did I hear myself back?
Because I had to lean forwards to type.
Oh, okay. Well, that's marvellous.
On the Master Malt side, there's Inchmoan, Moan.
Yeah.
And it's different to the Murrin one.
Yeah, Insurin. That's what it's called. Yeah. That's why I mentioned it, because you can buy a triple sample set of the 12s, and you have the standard 12, the Insurin, and the Inchmoan. And I wanted to highlight that. It's also only £1 more expensive to the standard 12, this one. So that's an interesting little detail they've provided us with. I know sod all about this, by the way. So this could be... do you have...
So this is where I said about pepper, because that's what it said on the other one on Master Malt, the wrong one that I had.
Well, it does mention spice, a lengthy spice finish on Master of Malt, so there is that at least.
Okay.
So it's fine. I've poured mine out. I will let it sit for a second, let the tannins do their thing. It says here the Insurin 12 from Loch Lomond, rebranded in 2015 as part of the Insurin Islands collection, which is rather apt, as Insurin is the largest freshwater island in the British Isles, and it sits in Loch Lomond. Coincidence? We think not. Anyway, this wonderfully creamy single malt was produced on Loch Lomond's unique straight neck stills, and aged in 3 types of American oak to showcase the fruity, sweet elements of the distillery's signature style. It is the winner of 3 Spirit Awards in 2020 and 2022, all gold. Yep. The reviews on this are not bad, to be fair, but it doesn't have many reviews on it. But we have some tasting notes at least to work with. Have you poured yours?
I have poured. It is set in the glass, just breathing for a moment.
Have a sniff. Oh, my dog wants attention. Give me a second.
One of the reviews is titled "It's a grower."
Yeah, well, better that than a shower. That's a weird flex, but okay moment. Is that better? My dog wants attention. Who's your good pumper pump? Do you want me to get the blanket? You can lay on my lap. I'll get the blanket. Give me a moment. David, entertain the two people who are listening to us while I go and get a blanket.
So David just had his nose in the glass having a sniff. So this smells similar to the first one, but a little bit more toffee-ish rather than it's sweet and probably sort of toffee caramelly rather than the fruit, the sort of unknown fruit that I got on the first one. I have to lean forward to type, Chris, though, because I have the laptop sat on my coffee table so that it is far enough away that the mic doesn't pick up Meg's audio, and I'm sat on my sofa, but it's like about a leg length away, and my arm's not as long as my legs, so yes, I do have to lean forwards to actually type when I want to type something.
I've returned, and I has whiskey. I'm going to have sniff. Sláinte. Creamy sweet cereals and allspice, again. That was on the palate last time. Hints of toffee apples and pear drops. A little caramel and furniture polish. Well, I love the smell of Mr. Muscle or Mr. Sheen, whatever it's bloody well called. Pledge.
Pear drops. That might have been what I got in the last one. I definitely get some toffee on this one.
This one is a very, like the last one's all mostly vanilla. This one, yeah. Still getting the appley sort of, yeah. It's very different smelling. But it smells lovely. It really does, actually. I quite like it.
It's different smelling, but it's got a similarity to it.
Yeah. So the colour on these. I'd say it's slightly lighter in colour as well, but not by much. I'm going to have a little sippy sip.
Let's enjoy.
Ooh, I like this one. Oh, I like this one a lot. This one's very smooth. Very, very smooth.
Ooh, yeah.
This one's definitely better than the other one on palate, especially. I like that. I approve of that.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice mix of fruitiness with a little bit of sweetness, but very, very smooth.
Yes, I agree.
I'm not sure Seville orange, but
yeah. Well, do you want to read the tasting notes?
okay, so, well, we've got two, obviously, whiskey shops. Palate builds in intensity with Seville oranges for mellowing to peach and apricots, giving way to creamy vanilla fudge. Medium and peppery finish, which I'm not quite sure about peppery.
No, there's no pepper on this.
Other than the orange bit, I would say that one was pretty accurate. Master malt with a slightly different route.
Yeah.
Smooth, rich palate with barley malt and salted caramel,
Yeah.
dried herbs, candied peels, and allspice.
It's what is allspice, that like malty spice shaker thing? Is that what it's meant to be, like
Yes.
nutmeg and shit?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not getting any of that. I don't know what allspice tastes like, but I'm not getting much nutmeg in this.
Yeah, no, I don't know exactly what it tastes like, but yes, it's what you tend to find, in those little shaker pots that have just a random mix of everything. There'll be some like onion and nutmeg and cinnamon and
Yeah.
all sorts of random stuff in it.
Well, it doesn't have enough spice in it, really. I think it's quite nice,
It's
though.
more flavouring than spice.
Yeah. I mean, that might make sense, but I'm not getting what you described. Yeah. The finish on this, it's medium long with a spicy finish. Medium maybe, but it's only comparative to the other one. Is it medium? Yeah. This one is slightly longer, yeah, but not much. The spicy part, not really.
I wasn't far out. Cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and pepper is allspice, apparently, according to Google.
Cloves we've discussed before because we don't know what that tastes like. Nutmeg, I kind of, I think most people know what it vaguely tastes like. I know there's an obvious euphemism in there. Refrain from it.
Yes, well, the owner's not here, so we can't make good use of that.
Cinnamon, no. What's the other one again? Cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and what?
Pepper.
pepper. Yeah, no. It's like, I think when people mention standard pepper and then white pepper or plums and yellow plums and peaches and turquoise peaches or some bullcrap. I have no idea what the difference is. I couldn't tell you. Like, don't try me, bish.
See, I feel like allspice is one of those where people have been like, I can taste something, I'm not sure what it is. Allspice.
Yeah, it's just allspice. It's a very generalized term. That's what I mean to say. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Crispo, how dare you not be giving us your full attention playing Mass Effect 3, honestly. You're half of our audience. It's disgraceful behaviour.
Indeed. The insurance is quite nice. I quite like this. I think I prefer it to the first one. But to be honest, it's a £1.45 difference in price. That's not a huge deal.
No.
It's not like £100 between the two, although I wouldn't buy them if they were £100. Jesus.
I mean, actually, at full price, it's only 95p more.
Yeah, the sale they've got at the moment is pretty good on though. May as well sell them.
Although it's significantly more on Whiskey Shop. It's about £12 more on Whiskey Shop.
It is the Whiskey Shop, I expect it. I don't mind. Again, that's that thing with I like going to their shop, so I don't really mind the price difference. Provided I have the funds. Hell, in fact, when I come to yours, I might get the Loch... Again, if I like either of those Loch Lomans at the end, I might get one. Or have it, ask the guy to get one in and I'll pay for it then.
Yeah. Yo, get this in. Don't know. But you'll get to drink some if you get it in. Done.
Yeah. What's in it for me? I don't know. A 22-year-old Loch Lomond, a Chianti finish, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not doing 16 samples again, bitch. It's not happening. Right, do you want to pull up your stopwatch for me, bud?
Yes, I have it up here already. I have it on 15, so
right.
I can
do it now.
Counting.
Do it now.
14, 13, 12, and Meg's away. So this will be an interesting one to see how this balances out for Meg's opinion against the previous one. Personally, it's nicer on the palate. I think we both found, so that's a good start. That is time. So hopefully that will translate to being a better whiskey to hold in your mouth for the 12 seconds.
That's lovely. That is really nice. A bit warm towards the end, but that's just my tongue doing its usual. It's sweeter. It's really nice and pleasant, and name does make sense. Intense orchard fruit, very nice. And Bry,
to go and get like Zemorangi Tale of the Forest or something to compare it with.
Indeed. Bry, of course, we would recommend on Discord here safe driving, of course. We don't want you to risk any danger to yourself just so you can fuel our egos. You're welcome.
Yeah. We appreciate you being here, Bry, in that scenario. That is absolutely fine. You haven't been typing.
Indeed. I'll probably do one more. I've got a fair chunk, but I'll do another Meg sip and then I will send in the next minute or two. If you were to compare the two, do you prefer this one to the first one?
Yes. It's a nicer overall flavour. It's smoother and I think slightly more rounded.
I would say that the first one isn't bad though, because again that was a really nice easy drink. And this one is just a slight step up on the sweetness. Loch Lomond's aren't. They do have a peated whiskey, I believe. They have a peated version.
The other 12.
Yeah. The Inchmoan.
Yeah, that starts off its little summary paragraph by talking about being peated.
Right. I know they also have a smoky one because they got fire and cane or some fire and something. And I know that exists, so I know they do have.
Oh yeah, the steam and something.
Steam and something, yeah.
Steam and fire.
Yeah, Steam and Fire. Yeah, I think that I'm going to pull it up on here. First filled bourbon barrels, American oak. Followed up with a 10-month finishing period in heavily charred American. No, it's not smoky. I mean, it might be, but it's not. But they do. Oh no, hang on. No, that's really sweet. Hang on. Would smoke at the end on the finish, so perhaps Steam and Fire might have something there. Yeah. But I know they do.
The Inchmoan literally is 12-year-old peated single malt.
I've just pulled it up and it's £34 and mint leaf, burnt wood, medicinal peat, peat, cinnamon pepper, peat, fruity notes on the finish.
Medicinal peat, you say?
Freud.
Hello.
Jinx. Indeed. Well, we have that to look at least in the near future. Meg likes to use his tongue on things in his mouth to make it hot. Indeed, I do, Crispo. Are you offering, darling?
Oh,
what's that? Is that a heron on my screen? It is. Sorry, heron. Slante.
Yempi and Leona are missing out on these.
Oh, that's a good shot. That's better. I think overall that one is better in every sipping, drinking, and shotting category. That's good. Yeah.
Sorry, that went down the wrong way.
I heard. That was that's a lovely.
Thin lager. Right.
Sorry.
Interesting. Rye is having thin lager.
Oh, I've seen the bottle of that in places. Yeah, I've seen that. I've been wanting to try it, but it's one of those sort of things where I just haven't had a reason to. But I'll look into it maybe in the future. I've seen the name around though.
Next time you're in England, Crispo. Yeah, well, you should. Next time you're in England, come join us for drinks.
Absolutely, we'll do a not worth a Cork with you.
You can raid the flat. Maybe I'll send you home with samples.
I'll send
An
you.
actual Viking raid, and you can go home with whiskey treasure.
I'll send you home with syphilis.
Yeah, they'll give you the syphilis, and I'll give you the whiskey to survive it.
And the fuggler. Anyway, have you got your agua sorted?
I am pouring the agua now.
Nice. I've got sample 3, which is called Loch Lomond Waypoint Series Falls of Falloch. I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sure, but we're going to go with that. That sounds like someone peeing, but okay.
Falloch, isn't that the name of the woman snooker player or darts player? One of the two.
Fallon Sherrock, you donut.
Oh, that's the one. Close enough.
It's close enough, it's alright. You just put the two together. I like that. I approve. This is a slight step up in ABV. The previous two were both 46%, I believe, yes. This is 46.2, so it's 0.1% lower than a Bunnahabhain standard. It was a punt. I mean, nothing wrong with that with your Finlag. Okay, I'm having whiskey burps. I'm so sorry. The Finlagen is a punt. I'm not against. I'm fully in favour of that. There are whiskies I bought that I consider punts, and I don't generally regret them because they don't cost too much. Hell, the proper 12 I bought years ago for a birthday whiskey was a punt. I've had many bottles of it in the years since. 3, I think, actually, so maybe not many. A few.
They do a red wine cask.
What?
Finlagen, that is.
Oh, I thought you were talking about proper 12. I thought you were talking about proper 12, and I was like, wait, what? Right, so anyway, this is a 16-year-old whiskey. This comes in a slightly more expensive box. It's £81 on the whiskey shop. It says here, in the heart of Loch Lomond and the Trossachs National Park lies the Falls of Falloch, a truly remarkable natural landmark of serene beauty that rewards those willing to go off the beaten track. With rabies. This release is the first in Loch Lomond's Waypoint series. So it's the first one, which pays tribute to beauty spots nearby to the distillery, matured in three kinds of bourbon casks for 15 years, before being finished for 12 months in cognac barrels. So I'd expect some more appley flavours. Yeah? I'd expect apple, because cognac. It's just something I expect with that flavour. Let me see if I'm on the right scene for that. I am not. Sorry guys, if you're watching on YouTube, that's what I wanted you to see. Here is the top so you can see it. It's a nice, to be fair, the box is beautiful. It's an open, both sides opens up to show beautiful artwork kind of box. I think it looks beautiful. It's limited edition as well, so it's one of those ones where you might want to open it, you might not. My view is Loch Lomond's are to be opened. It doesn't matter what it is. I've got the 24 for the golf last year one. Both of them actually I have. And it's a Manzanilla cask. It's getting opened when I can. I promise.
Yes, Bri, apparently there are female athletes. I'm not sure if you'd call darts players or snooker players athletes. But yes, as Crispo says, typical male response there. Volleyball, yes, of course you like the female volleyball, Crispo.
Indeed. Now, I took them to going to the Loch Lomond website, as you can see on here, where you can get a 20% off discount right now, which is cool, for a bottle that's now only $65.60 on the website, which tells me all about their markup. And it has a bit more of a description here, but it also has appearance, its peat levels unpeated, non-chill filtered, and tasting notes, which is what I want. Have you poured yours, David?
I have, and I've just had a sniff, and I'm slightly concerned. I'm not really getting anything on the nose.
I'm getting a bit of apple, a little bit of apple again, but not much. They're very... So I noticed it with the last one, and I didn't want to say it, but the Insurin smelt a bit muted to me, but not by much. It just smelt a bit muted. Like, it wasn't as open as the previous, the first one, the 12, the standard 12. The 12 standard on the nose, to me, stood out a bit more. The second was very, very calm, and this one feels like that as well.
Yeah, so this one, I found if the whiskey was just still in the glass, I couldn't really get anything. I had to literally shake the glass about a bit, agitate the whiskey
What
to
glass
get
are you using, David?
smell out. But yeah, apple was what I got afterwards.
What glass are you using?
The standard ones, the squarey.
Probably should go with a nosing glass. I would have you done the blowing off of the spirit just to make sure it's nice and clear?
Yes, I did do.
Put your face into it and blow it, but don't do it too hard because you're heavy-handed and heavy-mouthed, so chances are you'll blow the spirit into your eyes. Just do that and then sniff. Because you might... The apple is more pronounced then.
Yeah, that word's a bit better.
Yeah. I was...
more apple.
Yeah, I was testing it. You are right, though. It does feel more muted. But then this is part of a limited edition series, so I expect it to be a bit more refined. And we noticed that with... So we did Talisker tasting set, remember? And one of the things we had as a gripe was that, to us, Talisker is 10. The older it gets, the smoother it got. Now, I won't deny, in January, I was considering getting the 25, even though it was the smoothest and really felt like a massive deviation, just to have a Talisker 25, you know. And hi, Leona, if you've joined us in the VC, we appreciate you being here.
Hi, Leona.
Hope you're doing well. Sorry. I hope you're well. Indeed. Hope you're well.
You've missed all the Meg's tongue references. You'll have to watch back later to get those.
Yes. Right. Anyway, yes. So we're on the third whiskey, Waypoint Series 16-year-old. Do you want to have a little tasty taste, or what?
Sorry, but that's a spicy meatball.
Indeed it is. So on the palate it says here, beautiful depth of flavour with peach, honeysuckle, vanilla and honey blossom. The apple is gone. Honey is becoming the more prominent feature in this. I love honey, but I don't eat it enough to remember the flavour. When they mention like Manuka honey on some of these tastings, I'm like, bitch, I have a jar of yellow honey. That's it. All right.
I've squeezed a bottle of Rouse honey, bitch. That's all I've got.
I've got a jar because I'm not an uncultured swine. But you know, I don't have. I don't know what you're doing here. I have one of those wooden sticks that at the end you can put in your jar and then do a thing with.
Oh, one of those, the twizzly stick things.
I have one of those, but I don't have the proper like thing to receptacle for them. You know, is that the word, receptacle?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you. Anyway, sláinte.
Right. So gorgeous notes of stewed apple, honeysuckle, and more honey blossom.
Ooh,
okay.
That is a nice. Again, this feels like a step up as well.
Oh wow.
That's nice, isn't it?
Oh.
That's lush.
Okay, that is. Ooh.
Yeah.
That is lovely.
It is. I wish that I might have a sample of the peated one in my sample sets, so I might bring that just at some point so we can both have a little see if they can do peat, but they can definitely do smooth. They definitely do smooth. I do want to try their grain whiskey as well because all these ones are single malts. Grain whiskey, I'm not big on, weirdly. I find
we haven't had a lot of grain whiskey, have we?
Well, I can give you an example of a grain whiskey that is an abomination to existence. Can you name it with that description alone?
Is it the Johnny Walker Rye? Oh, that's rye, not grain, isn't it?
No. An abomination to existence.
Hoax?
No, that's they did triple distilled and single malt. No. I'll give you one more guess, and I'll give you a hint. Bend it.
Grain? Sorry?
I'll give you a hint. Bend it.
Hay Club.
There you go. I fucking knew you'd get that.
Go.
I knew you'd get that. you want to tell them what that hint was?
Yeah, bend it like Beckham.
There you go. Yeah, that's a single grain whiskey. You can tell.
Well, yeah, because the Clubman is all right, but the actual
Clubman at least
one
lowered the bar and went, "Yeah, okay, we belong here." I'm so glad you got that. I knew you were because you got the DVD for it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Or the finish on this says long waxy fruits and honey sweetness. The finish on this is just sweet. Honestly, it's delicious. So you mentioned Crispo there on Discord there about honey, local honey. I buy local honey. I'd rather buy that than the pot, so you can just squeeze. I don't mind the squeezy stuff. I just would rather have the. I will maybe once a week go into the fridge and take a spoonful of my honey and just eat that because I don't care. Or put it on some bread and eat that. You know. Can't get more local than that. Very true with what he said. And bend it like Beckham. Yeah. For those who don't know, Haig for a time were associated with a number of celebrities. David Beckham was one of them. It's a single grain whiskey. I recently bought a bottle of it. It was £10 in my co-op, or 15 quid or something. I think it was 10. And I was like, well, it's crap. However, I can have that as a nice bottle like when it's empty. So I will use it as such. When my dad's here at some point, I'm sure he and I will get to, or he will drink it with lemonade because it's probably the only way it can be consumed. So this one, you're the 16 second czar on this one, by the way.
Okay, I'm quite happy with that, to be honest.
I figured you would be. I think this as the first one, I actually am tempted to acquire it. I've
already added it to my basket on the whiskey shop.
Yeah, I might, if I like the next two afterwards, I might end up putting them in the basket there and be like, yo, when I come up in May, can you have these 3 bottles for me so I can purchase them? You know, because science, what are you going to do? Open them.
I'm sitting there thinking, March. If I get a bonus, I'll get that in April. Hello.
Wait till I come up in May. Then you catch. Then you might. Yeah. Then for a change, you get to throw down like I do. Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I'll get that much bonus.
I don't have that much money.
I might get enough for this. This is very nice, to be fair.
We'll see what happens.
Anyway, I have adjusted the timer to account for it being 16 seconds.
Crack on. Get that in your gob and enjoy the legal age limit in your mouth.
Get it in.
Congratulations. Let's see. Oh, is Yempi in the chat as well? Hello, Yempi. Hope you're well if you are here. Yes. Yes, you are. David's nuts. Yeah, you're here. Hi. Hope you're all well. Thanks for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. We have started a bit early, but we're also running a little bit late because we're not doing what we were meant to be doing, owing to the fact that we have 2 totally different New Zealand samples. So I will order, with the remaining points I have on the whiskey shop, the correct one, and then I'll bring, when I got to Norwich in May now, we've discussed it, I will bring with me the, and I saw the Boomer-ish J. Yes, I saw the J there, David Nutself, don't try me. I'll bring the sample set I have with me up to Norwich, and then David will do that, and I will do that separately as a laugh. What did you think, David, of the 16 seconds in your gob?
I want more.
Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what, it's actually a lush one, isn't it?
That is so nice. I don't know if it's the age statement or just the way they've made it, but it's so smooth. It's sweet, but it's not overpowering. Yeah. It has got a little bit of a stickiness like honey.
It does mention the honey in all areas of the.
I'm not really getting much of the apple, but it's
I got on the nose, but that's about it.
It's lush.
Yeah. For the price, it's not too bad. It's $65.60 on Loch Lomond's website. It is $81 on the whiskey shop. Although, to be honest, if he has any points saved up, he might be able to do that. I don't, but he might. It's still nice presentation box as well. It's definitely, well, I know it's a limited edition. I would open this seriously. I'll happily open it. You know, it's delightful.
So this reminds me of another, well, what is now apparently a 16-year-old whiskey, the Nectar
Yeah, you're right.
This reminds me of that.
The only other cognac cask on
Leona and Yempi are both written you at the same time.
Jinx. The only cognac cask off the top of my head I can remember is the Glenlivet Captain's Reserve, now the 14. That's a cognac cask, and we've done a bottle of that. I remember it being quite nice, but I don't remember it being as good as this.
No.
But Glenlivet is notorious for smoothness as well. Like that.
It is, yeah.
You have one of their more challenging experimentals in the form of that Nadura.
Yes.
But
that's a 16 as well, actually, isn't it?
yeah, but it's obviously not this. It's not cognac cask. It's peated, isn't it?
Bear with. I will double check. I think it is. Yes.
Yes. Because
Which
memory serves. Just for this to make sense, his
Behind
Glenlivet's Nadura. He doesn't have. You can't buy that again unless you're paying off the top amount of money to refill a bottle. It's just not possible because they do it as limited batches. And they do multiple different versions.
It's not peated, actually.
No, what is it?
So it's 16 years, 55.5% cask strength.
It was something. I thought it was.
Sweetness of soft fruits and honeyed flowers. Dry oak finish, considerable length, notes of ginger and hazelnut.
Why did I think
It
peated?
is it is not a peated whiskey.
Have we not tried a peated livid? My mistake. You know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why do I sound?
thought it was as well, to be fair.
Why do I sound so nasally, Yempi? I didn't realise I did. My apologies if I do. I can breathe through my nose. I did try and fiddle with my settings to get a random hum out of my audio. I will deal with that tomorrow instead. Sorry if you hear that, by the way. It's just an impossible situation right now. But thank you for highlighting it. I do apologise if I sound nasally.
You trying to muscle in on my nasaliness? How dare you? That's my literal selling point.
Yo, I intentionally got my adenoid swole because I wanted to stand out. Anyway, I'm going to send this because I want to see if it does. I've got a fair amount, to be fair. So this will be
This is an interesting one.
Oh, well, Yellow Swag Fam.
Hello. Swag fam.
Ooh. Tell you what, slightly spicier on the shot, but delicious throughout.
A little bit cooling.
Yeah,
weirdly.
yeah, I noticed that, but there's a spice there that wasn't there before. At no point was it there. It was like, you know what that is? That's the whiskey's AI telling you shouldn't do this, and we're going to punish you for it.
Yeah, whiskey says no.
It brought its weapon systems online, but failed to heat them up quick enough for me to ingest.
Right, Crispo, since you're so insistent that I have T-Rex arms, I'm going to take a picture which the owner look away because it's involved feet.
I should point out my arms are still longer than David's by a considerable margin. My arms are freakish long compared to his.
Right, this is why I have to lean forwards to type, because the table with the laptop on is literally a leg length away. My foot is just about on it next to the laptop.
Right next to a dead candle.
Hence why I have to lean forwards to type.
For those on YouTube who are seeing this, I'm now going to put that picture on the screen. You're all welcome. Here is David's foot and a laptop.
Chat, so.
David's foot and a laptop. This actually makes more sense. I can use this on YouTube. I've realised I also left the coffee stuff at the top. I'm so sorry for those watching on YouTube. The coffee stuff is there. I didn't mean to. I just forgot. Anyway, if you were to rate this one next to the Standard 12 and the Insurin, would you rate this above them? And
yes, I did take my slipper off just for the owner.
Would you,
this
David,
is definitely above those two.
Would you believe that this is worth £81?
Yes.
I kind of think it would be, because 16s, and I mean there's some 18s that are cheaper that I think are better, but I think it's a limited one. First of all, it's normally on their website sold for 61, so or 65. So it's not, it's a markup thing. We know, but that's retailers generally, they do markups. I think this is quite nice, to be honest. Yeah.
Yes, I have just triggered the MP with all the unread server notifications on Discord.
I have none. Actually, I have a DM because I have balls up some audio and a video. So
I have 172 on one server, 82 on another, 813 on one of them.
So next on the list, because that'll be distracting, is this. Now this isn't out yet, but if I like it, I'm buying it. Although to be fair, I usually buy these anyway. This is a Chianti wine cask finish, Loch Lomond Open Special 2025 release that is released on the 8th of April. Now, this bottle, the standard, is £47. Tasting notes for this are non-existent. So it does mention,
yeah.
Although at the end of it, it does mention oak tannins. You're welcome.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a Chianti wine. You know about Chianti, don't you? I only know this because of you. So I
It goes well with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
There you go.
Hang on. I can smell you. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter. That's about
that's
I know about
Silence.
Chianti.
Yeah,
I can't
Chianti.
open mine.
Yeah, that's Silence of the Lambs, isn't it? Yeah, you can't open yours. Well, I can open mine. Oh, hang on. Oh, Jesus. All right, there we go. Okay, mine actually tore into my skin. All right.
Yeah, mine is genuinely not open. Oh, there we go. Yeah, mine is literally.
Could I ask you to talk to the chat for a second while I quickly go and do something? I do apologise.
Right.
Sorry, Wizzy Woo. I need to put you down for a second.
Yes, the Hannibal Lecter is coming out. Yes, no. I know Chianti is a wine. I think it might be white, but I'm not sure. But we do tend to like a wine cask, so it's wine. Therefore, there's a good chance we might like it. Created by Ambassador Colin Montgomery, he of the Super Injunction fame. Interesting. 46%, so this is a little bit more strength. So this should be a little bit interesting. We're still not anywhere near the Cardrona strength, which is what we were intending to drink tonight. But that's probably good because it means when I get up in the morning, I won't be as suffering as I would have been.
Wizzy Woo. Come on,
Fake British. I'm not fake British. I'm entirely British. It was an illustrative point to show how far the table was away from where I'm sitting.
Ooh, there you go, Wizzy Woo.
Honestly, Christo.
You go back to sleep.
How dare you?
Sorry about that.
And
I had to
French.
blow my
Yeah,
nose.
honestly, it's like you don't know me at all.
Right. My apologies for that. I had to blow my nose. I didn't want to make noise. This bottle sells for about 47 quid, and I have last year's version, which was Rioja cask, I believe. Which I don't believe you and I opened because we were going to and we didn't, because we were going to do a golf thing and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's a picture of it. It's quite beautiful. To be fair, this year is a nice white box, beautiful. But I think last year was blue. I will confirm it actually.
Your one is blue, so I'm assuming the standard one was as well.
The standard Loch Lomond ones for last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, the limited one of this year is white as well, so I'm assuming that your one is blue as the limited one, so I'm assuming the standard one was.
Well, I was just going to pull up the images so people on YouTube can see it. So yeah, the 24-year-old is this one. That's a Manzanilla cask, and the standard one is it's Chardonnay wine cask. Rioja, no, it's Chardonnay wine cask. My apologies. So your white wine cask it'll be more aptly on the flavours, and I'm right, apple, orchards, and lemon. Yeah. Okay.
I'm beginning to get a sense of Loch Lomond having some obsession with apples.
I swear they just had that honey and that down as flavours. They've
Is this
got
like
it.
whiskey?
Might be, yeah, might be.
We have the iPhone, the iPad, and now we have the whiskey.
You know what? As long as they're not making that, if Loch Lomond made their own iPad, I'd be half tempted to buy it, but only so I could lick it.
Yeah.
Right. So these aren't released yet. We do not have.
So maybe a Yempi for now.
We don't have much information on these, but there is something of interest here, and that is that this whiskey was created by Colin Montgomery. Colin Montgomery is, to us, a very well-known golf player. He won, if memory serves, throughout his entire playing career, he won at least one tournament every single year. He had a consistency. We never won a major, ever.
No.
But he won a major tournament, a big money tournament, at least once every year. I liked him, And the Master Blender Michael Henry also did, as an ode to the collaborative partnership between Loch Lomond and golf tournament, the British Open. Bottled again at 46%, which is a very common percentage. First matured in American oak before being finished in first fill Chianti casks, adding layers of rich, ripe flavours to the Loch Lomond signature style. This release contains the classic flavours of fruit, honey, smoked soft smoke, and added notes of red berries and oak tannins. Say it again. Go on, say it. I know you want to say it.
Frickin' tannins.
There you go. I might go to the Loch Lomond website quick and just see if they have this one out at all.
See, that interests me though, because it says the classic Loch Lomond flavours of fruit, honey. Yeah, okay, we've had those, and soft smoke. Now, we've had 3 so far, and there's been no smoke in any of them. So, are they literally saying soft smoke is a classic staple based on potentially one whiskey, which is their peated one?
Yeah, I think they are. Okay, so on the website they don't actually have this year's versions up yet. They only have last year's and the 29-year-old bottle as well, which I'm intrigued by. It costs £1,216 and there's only one left. You have my attention. Now, we don't have...
It is the one.
Yeah, it is. We don't have tasting notes on this, but it does say fruit, honey, soft smoke, and red berries, oak tannins. I don't know what any of that means. Oak tannins, anyway. We'll get to that soon, I'm sure. So I guess we only have... Well, no age statement. We can just try it and see what we think, yeah? And Monty was great. I agree with you, Bri. Colin Montgomery is a very good golf player, I found.
Yeah, it's a shame you got that super injunction that Dara O'Brien wasn't allowed to talk about.
Yes. I like that. Yeah.
So, for reference, Meg and I went to see Dara O'Brien at one point.
Crack
it's
dealer.
on one of his DVDs as well.
Crack dealer.
And he referenced doing a show somewhere, and but something completely not related to golf. And just before he went on, they said there's a member of the audience, like near the front, it's famous, but don't mention his super injunction. And Dara O'Brien was like, well, I wasn't going to mention his super injunction because it was a super injunction. I didn't know about it, but now I do.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
When we saw him, the only thing I remember was that, you know, you come from a small village, someone breaks into your house, what 4 words will scare everyone away? And annoyingly, I wished I'd shouted it, but I grew up in a little area called Smallfield. You know, what 4 words can you say that will guarantee that person doesn't steal anything from you? And it was, I know your mother. And by the way, the super injunction, for those who don't know, was in reference to a affair that he'd had. That was what it was a reference. That I think, it was by Justice Edie, but it wasn't until 2010 we found out about it, which I thought was hilarious.
So
anyway,
we're making fun as well of the sign for Wyndham. A, the city spelling, and B, the fact that the duck on the sign is as big as the cathedral.
Well, that, and he started doing interpretive dance for programmers. So there was that as well.
The interpretive dance, the explanation of yeast in interpretive dance.
Yeah, there was that. Anyway, have a sniff of this, because I have, and it's very different. Blow away the spirit first, because it is slightly spirity, but you'll find something very sharp underneath it.
Ooh, hello.
Yeah. How are you?
How are you?
Do not throw this.
I feel that the smoking jacket has appeared.
Indeed, it has. I wish we had like not worth the cork uniforms that were those like elbow pad jacket things, or the what do they call those robes that people wear?
I thought we need a tweed jacket with a flat cap.
Well, either that, or those really red, deep red like robes. Yeah, with rope.
Oh, the red velvet smoking jackets. Yeah.
Yeah, those.
Hugh Hefner style.
Put those on the wish list, yeah. Normal.
Secretary, note it. Not worth a cork uniform. Red velvet.
Well, it's either that or a shirt that will never fit me unless I put on like 150 pounds of weight. I can't eat enough
your
chimpkin
shirt
for
fits
that.
both of us, and there's still some room to spare.
No, that's my sister's pajamas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh, jeez, those pajamas.
Wait. Parachute pants.
She was so mad.
Hang on. Are we doing some MC Hammer as well? Are we? I mean, I'm not against it, but I can't. Neither of us dance. He only does the Macarena, and I can only do the worm when incredibly drunk, and
Hey,
I
I
roll
can do
my.
an Irish jig as well.
I also roll my ankles first.
It's probably cultural appropriation, but I can do an Irish jig.
Slancher. Have a sip of that, David, because that is very nice.
Indeed.
That's very nice. It's very, very sharp. If you let it like breathe on your tongue a little, there's a little woody quality there. Very different. Bit more berry pronounced than.
That is different, isn't it?
It is. It's
That's
also
moved a long way from the previous ones.
well. The previous ones were darker in colour. This one's a bit lighter.
It is. It's a bit more golden, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still quite nice. I'll put it up on screen for those who are watching on the YouTubes. It's nice, and £47 isn't too bad for this actually. Yeah, I quite like it. It's all right.
Yeah, no, this is nice. It has got a bit of a. This is the first one that's had any smokiness.
Yeah, you notice that. That's the oak part, isn't it? There's frickin' tannins, right? Soft
It's
smoke.
got more body to it in that sense.
It does mention the soft smoke as well. I get this one because that oaky sort of smokiness is there. Doesn't care about us not getting pictures. I apologise. I thought David would put the links there for you. I do apologise.
Oh, sorry. I can. Oh well. Okay, I'm gonna have to lean forward.
No.
No.
I will do it myself because you can't be trusted. I will do this on here. So this is the first whiskey we had tonight, the 12. This is the Insurin, which is delightful. You're welcome. This is the. I'll go to the Loch Lomond website actually for the. Nope. There it is. Right, the Falls of Phallic, or Falls of Phallus, if you'd rather call it that. I don't really care. This is the one we're currently drinking, and there you go. I do apologise for not providing those links sooner. I actually thought David was doing it. That's why I ignored it. My apologies, and that's not David's fault. It's my fault for assuming. But yes, hope that is good enough. I'm looking forward to this coming out. To be honest, this might be on the list with the Falls of Phallus as well. I think I'll get both because screw it. We'll wait and see how we are doing in May, and we'll find out what we're doing in June, July, or August for the trip as well, if that's even happening. You know that makes it look like you're playing yourself, right? For those who don't know, David, will you mind me sharing this on YouTube?
That's fine.
Oh, cool, because this is David now proving to his audience, his delightful fans, that he can't reach his laptop because it's just so damn far away. Yep.
You don't want to hear yourself back, so I have no other option.
I really don't want to hear myself back, you're right. Anyway,
You've got
so
a fancy watch face in the picture though, that's quite good.
how would you... It's not fancy. It's a one watch. It's a freaking smart watch. It's not like a Omega watch or a Rolex. Come on.
But no, it's not. But how long does the battery last on your smartwatch?
3 days. I use
2
battery.
weeks.
I use how much do you do on your watch and how much do I do on my watch? I literally use mine.
WhatsApp quite a bit on my watch. To be fair.
I use mine as an extension of all the working out I do. I also play. I also play music on mine. Literally in the shower, I will play Spotify through my watch.
Yeah, I do Amazon Music through mine.
Yeah, but you don't count. Anyway, on the scale of like the other three, where would you rate this one?
So,
I do want to start. It might be easier if I say it first.
I feel like I'm going to put it high.
I'm not. I'm going to put it third.
Really? Okay.
I'm going to put it third solely because I thought, yeah, this is really nice, but I'm expecting the other one to be better.
Yeah, but we haven't had it yet, so.
Yeah, but I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it third because I think that might be a safer option. I still want it, but I think.
You mean third out of the 5 rather than third out of the 4?
Third out of the 4 because the 5th one might be shit. You never know. I think
See,
the Insurin was really nice, and I think the Falls of Falak are really, really good. This one I think is slightly below the Insurin, but not by much.
See, I'm leaning towards this being above the first two, above the 12s, but I'm not sure. I mean, I like it because it has got that smokiness to it, but
I like it too.
I'm not sure that. Well, I think the honey one was better because it was overall more rounded.
The Falls of Falak.
The Falak one, yeah. I think this would be second for me in a minute,
Waypoint
but not
series.
far behind.
Yeah, I thought I'd put it third
But for the money.
Yeah, it's definitely
Good value for the money.
47 quid for a bottle of this. Yeah, I'll have a bottle of this. Thank you. These are all so they do these annually, but they don't recognise it on the whiskey shop as limited edition. To an extent, this is a limited edition bottle, the Chianti, because they don't make it every year. They only make it for the 1 year, so it's a limited batch release.
Yeah.
I'd still buy it happily, to be honest. There's no age statement, so you don't have to worry about that. So we can just sit.
No, that's true.
I tell you what, as a drinker, it's delightfully sweet. That smoky chase at the end is quite nice too. You know what I mean? Like it just after you've had the sweetness, the smoke just then follows it behind with like a 2-second delay.
So I've just done 6 seconds, just as a random kind of. It's
Yeah.
aged a little bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's quite subtle on the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little bit of fruitiness there, then the smoke kind of builds.
Yeah. It's definitely a softer smoke. It's not like punch in the face, smack in the face. Not Talisker territory. Diageo Special Release 2021 for those who want a more specific number. But still, it's not in that area. Is that an extra large smartwatch? No, he has really small wrists.
Yeah, I ask him. You know this. You call me a stick insect, Yempi. You know this.
This makes sense. Yempi on Discord has queried about his watch. No, he has a really small frame. Seriously, his arms are marginally thicker than his feet. Anyway, I think it's delightful, but we are going slightly running out of time, so we need to finish this one and send it. I'm afraid, buddy. So, Heron, you're right. YOLO Swag Fam.
I can lift small humans. I can't lift big humans.
I like you're defending the chat, but not providing context for the YouTube side. His
querying my physical strength.
His masculinity is called the question. He has to defend his own honour. Anyway, YOLO Swag Fam, Slancho, whatever, blah blah. Heron, you're right.
YOLO, indeed.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's a nice, smooth, sweet shot again. These all go down so well.
They do.
It's more smoky on this one though. On the shot, like you don't like air in the mouth sort of thing. You know, it's more pronounced.
So
it's definitely
shooting this reminds me of it like Johnny Walker Black.
Yeah, I get that. Nice and smooth, nice and easy, goes down like a treat. Although if Johnny Walker Black did a Chianti cask, I would already have 20 bottles of it.
Yeah, this is true.
Honestly,
you do have a slight obsession with black.
I still haven't got the sherry cask or the triple cask. I really want them. And I definitely want that ruby one as well if I can get my hands on a bottle in the future.
Yeah, I keep seeing that advertised on Facebook and things, and you click on it and it doesn't take you to Ruby Black. Like, but damn it, I want that one.
For this to make sense, Ruby Black is a port cask finish Johnny Walker Black, but it's nigh impossible to get unless you're on a flight from British Airways. I'm not getting on a plane to buy a £20 bottle. I'm really not.
I mean, I'd consider it. Depends where I can go.
I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm not wasting a litre of someone else's duty to get it unless both parents are doing it for me. Oh god, I can't open this last one. There we go. Right, sorry, I was trying to open it. It was really biting into my skin.
Yeah, well, I'm now just aggroing.
Right.
Yeah, the last one was really tough to open. I'm hoping this one isn't as bad.
Well, this one was for me, so I'm skipping. For those who are interested on YouTube, I bought this bottle you're seeing on the screen now recently. It's the Loch Lomond 24-year-old. It is limited to... Oh, it wasn't many bottles. It was 4,500 bottles, so not many, but a few. It was sherry butts from Jerez, so like Macallan Night on Earth, the more recent version. Manzanilla sherry butts, that is. So that's awesome. This is not obviously it. I have this one here, the white wine cask as well. I've got the previous couple as well. But this is the newest version here, the full version, the 22-year-old. It costs slightly less than the Manzanilla cask. It is limited to... It doesn't have a number. it's limited edition, but let's find out on the box. It might say there, 3,500 bottles. There we go. It is the Royal Portrush is where this is happening. This event. Spanish oak cut. You okay?
Yeah, I can't open this one either.
I did clamp in between the knuckles to get it open, but it's not the easiest. I do like the topper on that. It's quite nice. I like the presentation. If you compare it to the last one, the blues were pronounced this time. Light colours and greens. I love that. Obviously, the previous one's 2 years older. This one is £250. This brand new one. It is out also on April the 8th. It's 46.7. It's the strongest of the lot, and the finish is different. It's virgin Spanish oak, which we now know to be Spanish. Jerez, which is no, that's the last one. Sorry, Spanish oak would just be anything really, just wood. T-Rex arms without strength. Should I just amputate them for you already, Dave? Crispo as a comment. That is a wise idea, but David doesn't have the teeth then to use to do it either. Have you opened yours, by the way?
Yeah, no, I had to get some scissors with the little serrated bottle opener thing on it to twist it because that was not moving.
Yeah, I'll admit, even by my standards, that was not the easiest. Very well.
I threaded the cap to get it off, so it was tight.
Well, at least you know what you're putting in the bin next. Anyway, we have no tasting notes for this at all.
They're just making sure it doesn't bleed, can't they? They've learned from their experience last time.
It does say on the bottle on the whiskey shop site, flavours of fruit, honey, and soft smoke, as well as notes of toffee, cinnamon, and oak spice. So we have something, just not much to work with.
Something we don't know where any of these things are. Okay, let's dive in with the nose and see what we get.
Yeah, this was created by Michael Henry, the master blender. So this is a blended single malt, but it's definitely a blend of some kind. And ode to the collaborative partnership. That's about it. No Colin Montgomery on this one. Hang on.
Smoky.
Yeah, there's a little smoke in there. Oaky sort of spicy sort of quality, really, but I got it on my lips. That's not a sniff. Blah. Don't cheat. No cheating. Blah. I will not cheat in this. That works.
It's definitely the least, well, based on what we've found so far, I'd say this is the least Loch Lomond smelling of all of them.
Yeah, this doesn't have all the apples and the honey, does it?
Apple or anything like that.
Well, this one mentions honey and says flavours of fruit, but it says flavours, so I would assume that's palate based. So, sláinte.
Sláinte.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm buying a bottle of that. I'm gonna. When you next go in there, just ask them to put one aside for me. Thank you.
Yo, have you got this? Yeah. How many do you want? Yes.
I can make it work. We'll see.
Can I pay my PayPal credit?
I can't, but you might be able to. I don't have your I don't have your credit limit. Jesus.
Nah, yeah. My ridiculous PayPal credit limit. Yeah.
It's all that.
Okay,
active.
that is wow.
I'll tell you what, though, very, very different to the standard one. This one's a bit more like the smoky's more pronounced. I quite like that. Like it's not as pronounced. It's not hugely pronounced, but comparative. Yeah, yeah. It costs basically nothing. Yeah, for only £250, you can buy one bottle of whiskey, but a rather nice one, I will admit. I will admit it's a slight drawback that you can't. We don't get tasting notes for these. I would look them. I might Google it and see what I get, just cause.
Is there nothing on the actual distiller's website?
No, nothing. Only the whiskey shop. Master of Malt has 2000 version. So they've been doing this for a long.
A little out of date.
Yeah, well, it's 22 years old, so it's from the 2023 bottle. That cost £200 for their more expensive version of that back then. That was a American oak, and that's it. Yep. Ginger and cinnamon. 2023, 2024. Nothing for 2025 beyond the whiskey shop. We have legitimately nothing. That is amazing.
That is quite cool. We are drinking something that very few people have had.
Yeah.
Well, it almost makes us feel special that we've got something before other people.
Yeah.
We're that good.
So for a pre-order, you expect to be given very little, because the whiskey shop, what they do is they do a digital dram set, which is how we're doing this, and they will do a YouTube hangout and people can watch it or be involved in it, and it's on YouTube. In fact, I could link it if I could be asked, but I can't. Yawn. Sorry. And
Yawn indeed.
yes, but it's one of those very interesting little aspects where you can try something before anyone else. That's why we were going to do Cardrona, because a lot of these were not, when they initially did these, available. We got the samples because I had points, and I was like, well, screw it, I'll just send them to David, I don't care. I need to find out I've sent him the wrong one. Well, not the wrong one, but the one that was available that I didn't have. Oh, I don't want to do 22 seconds of this, though. I'm not going to deny, that would be a... I know my tongue enough to know with my ruined taste buds it would hurt. You know what I mean?
So
like,
weirdly, I don't have a Zoom link for it. It was supposed to be on Zoom, but I don't have a Zoom link for it.
No. If you go to the Digital Drams... for Loch Lomond, I think it's happened yet, actually. I'll pull it up on...
yeah, it should have been a few days ago.
Hannon Park, Diageo, Loch Lomond 2025. So you missed out here. Yeah, so basically there's a YouTube video, and I will link. Sorry, you might have heard it back on playback then. Sorry. I'll put it here in the... oh, that is a... oh, that's a link and a half. I'll get the correct...
Oh, excellent. Do put it. The owner, do pay attention.
There you go. I got you. I got you. Don't you worry. It's not actually... I have a better link, but that's the link for those who are interested in the barracks to listen to them doing an open discussion on it on YouTube. I will switch to here so you can see this is on YouTube. It is a thing they did. It's not unlisted. It's available to all. It doesn't have many views because it turns out many of us don't bother turning up. There's 732 subscribers. I think we here at Not Worth a Cork can beat that. Yep. Where do you rate this one so far compared to the others? Because I have to say the obvious. It has to go to number one.
So,
but
yeah,
I do think
it is number one.
But I do think it's very close because Phallic is right there.
I'm not sure it's 150 plus pounds more than previous ones.
Worth it, you mean? Yeah. It's still really good though.
It is the best of the ones we've had tonight. Unquestionably, you can tell that there's so much more to it, and it is more refined. But it's not in a different league that you'd kind of expect based on the pricing. Everything else is pretty reasonably priced that we've had. I mean, I know 80 odd pounds for a bottle. For us, that's fairly reasonable. For some people, it probably is.
So I do think
us,
that this is definitely something people would try and collect, right? My view on it is, based on what it is, I'd buy it, but I'd want it to be the bottle we spank in a week. You know what I mean? Like, that is a bottle you can say, yeah, I've had a bottle. Where's the proof? Open the box, bottle light.
Yeah, where's the proof? Is that bottle light over there?
Yeah, in the box. What box? The one that's opening with the light inside? Yeah, that one. I will admit, so I can understand people wanting to collect these, because 3,500 bottles of it, that is limited. That's 10 casks, you know. It's not many. Yeah. You know, same with the previous year where it was probably 12 casks. It's very, very limited batch. I think that I think it's quite nice, but I do understand why some might look at the price and go, "Oh, maybe not." Whereas I rock up and go, "Yeah, go on then." You've twisted my arm.
No, you rock up and go, "A bar."
Shh, don't spoil it. 22 seconds, David.
Oh yeah, right. Hell, adjusting timers.
Yes, you adjust your timer and you do that.
Set phasers to stun.
Indeed. For those who are interested, out of curiosity, I've got this cut of wood from a tree as a coaster, And I've accidentally a couple times spilled a little bit of whiskey on this. Tell you what, it smells like Lagavulin, man. It smells great. I might get some varnish and seal that smell in for all eternity because it just smells great. Highly recommend if you can get your hands on some bits of wood and use them as coasters. Honestly. Yeah, I may well get both of these in May if I can. I might obviously talk to David to make sure they get them in, and I'll just get them both. Oh, he's done his 22 seconds.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah? How so?
My mouth has gone numb.
Okay.
But in a good way.
So it's a very odd flex, but okay.
So it's very smooth.
Yeah.
It builds up with a bit of heat at the front of the mouth, which is very unusual. It made my tongue and the top of my mouth go numb for a couple of seconds.
Okay.
It is really nice. It's very strange. The last few seconds just hit me. I was like, what's this? And yeah, it made me go slightly numb, and now I'm salivating a lot. That is very complex. Now I can see why it's worth a lot more money.
So, query: is it worth it now? Like is it worth a cork? Is it the best of the best? What do you think?
It's the best of the ones we've had.
Also, question.
I'm not necessarily sure it's worth £250,
Yeah.
but it is definitely worth more than the rest.
Yeah. Do you now? This is a weird. It's a strange one because I don't know if you do. Do you actually own any Loch Lomond in your collection?
No.
Oh, we have to rectify that, buddy. Sorry, mate. You have to buy. You're gonna have to get a couple bottles in. Get the Chianti and the phallic one, yeah.
Wait, hang on, Crispo. You have an X? When did that happen?
Recently. Anyway.
Oh dear. Oh, sorry to hear that. Definitely have more alcohol.
Yeah, definitely drink more. We've had 4.5 glasses, so nearly 5. So you got to catch up.
You're a bit behind.
Catch up, bitch. Catch up. Anyway,
I would recommend you do that, Meg, because it's very interesting because it does develop.
All right, go on. Set your timer up. How are you doing? 25 seconds, is it?
So I'm on 25. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1, 24, 23, 22.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So Meg is now doing, because this is a very interesting whiskey. It develops slowly, but then very rapidly. It takes a few seconds to get going, and then suddenly it goes bang. On one side. Actually, if you varnish it though, once it's varnished, doesn't it lock the smell in, so you can't get it back? Science indeed, and that is time, Meg.
When it exploded on my tongue, when my tongue exploded, instantly heat, and it was like really sweet, very nice, very moist. I'm not even. That's not like me trying to go, oh, moist. No, my mouth is full of saliva. Oh.
Yeah, mine went numb for a few seconds, and it just went saliva.
My mouth is full of an additional shot, basically. That was intense and like moistening, right? But lovely. And of course, F for Crithbo. Yeah. He'll have to get himself a nice, lovely ladyboy, and in Thailand, and get on with his life. Now,
I would say we'd raise a glass, but we only have a very small amount left in our glasses.
I will buy this, I think, because obviously
we cannot pour one out for our homie.
I'm not pouring this out. I only got this until I get the bottle. No, I'll happily buy this. I will. I'll happily buy the other one as well, to be honest. But yeah, that's.
So basically, your entire next whiskey shop visit is going to be Loch Lomond.
Yeah, that's fine. Loch Lomond, Phallic, Standard, Chianti, and the 2022.
I just have to go in there, and I just be like, right. So we need this Loch Lomond, this Loch Lomond, this Loch Lomond, and this Loch Lomond.
Well, if you can get a Chianti as well, then at least I don't feel like I've bought too much more than you. It'll just be one bottle.
Oh dear. If you're pinning all your hopes on Leona, myself, and Meg Crithbo, I think you'd be better with literally anything else you can get.
Indeed. Now, I want to send mine because we're nearing the end, and I want to see if this is worth a shot or not. I have a strange feeling it won't.
It's definitely worth a cork.
It's definitely worth a cork, and it has a nice cork. I still, no lie, would like to buy the 30 just cause, but that won't be till next year if we do, because I don't know when this trip is, if we're doing one at all. So, shall we send it?
Yeah. No. The friend has said, because he's unavailable this week as well. I'm going to look at what I can do next week, and so I should be singing next week.
Very good.
So we should know soon, hopefully.
Marvellous. YOLO, Heron, Swag Fam, Slancher. Bleh.
YOLO, Heron.
I'm dreading this one.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are you the best shot?
That's a lot of toffee and treacle sort of flavouring. Really sweet. Very.
But I don't want to shoot a £250 bottle of whiskey.
Nom, 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 nom. That is a.
Not regularly, anyway.
Unless I own it, in which case he's like, "Can I do a shot of this?"
Oh, yeah, if you own it,
sure.
it's fine.
yeah.
Shoot it, whatever.
Why? Because Meg has the disposable income. Weirdly, that he can just buy it and go, "Fuck it." What we doing shots? What we doing it of? 22-year-old special release Loch Lomond. Why Excelsior?
Yeah, I don't understand how this works. You have far more disposable income than me, yet your salary is lower than mine. It's like this.
I think it's you know what it is. I think it's because my standard income on accounts is all like online based and shit. But the cash I don't use, so I intentionally make sure all my bills are paid online. So all that cash is just sat there going, all right then, bet. Oh,
Damn you, and you're not having a mortgage and things.
I would love to have one, but well, those spanners, man, they just fucked it up for all of us. Anyway, that was a delightful finish.
That was amazing.
Oh no, they're all really good shots, though. Have you noticed?
Yeah, they have actually. None of them have been bad, have they?
No, not one. And I'm glad we did those, and not the 3 or maybe 4 or maybe 5 Cardronas, because we'd been fucked.
Ask away, the owner. Go for it. It's a
Oh yeah,
whiskey
please.
question. You.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions like the owner has here, please ask. We'd love to know. We honestly would. Honestly,
Yeah, the Cardrona would have been in. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. England have managed to win 3-0 against Latvia. It was 0-0 at half time.
Don't care. So, I think it's absolutely delightful. Great whiskey. My favourite of the evening probably is this one, but I will admit the Falloc one is close second. I might move the Chianti up to third, but I will say the Insurant and the Standard 12 aren't bad.
What the heck does that mean? Well, it just was, didn't type of was waiting till the end and don't want to forget.
Glenmorangie ice cream, yes or no? We have no idea, but we'd say yes, solely because of their record with experimentals. David owns a bottle. I want a bottle, but I don't have a bottle.
Bosh.
I
have one.
I want it. I don't have it. I want Taylor Tokyo as well.
It will be in the Glenmorangie stream.
For this to make sense, on Discord, Leona has asked about whether or not to get the Glenmorangie Taylor ice cream. David owns it. We're going to do a Glenmorangie Not Worth a Cork one of his in May, which will be at some point middle of May this year. Next year, Jesus. I wanted it. I will admit I would love to have it. Don't have it. Sadness. Taylor of Tokyo. So I recently finally completed my first whiskey notebook. Yesterday I actually did drink the Seaweed Neon's butterscotch and vanilla one.
Butterscotch.
Yep. Finally had it. It's actually really nice. Really, really nice. Good Isla flavourings and beautiful, sweet, smooth, like butterscotch flavours. Really good. My first book is finished. Second one, Taylor Tokyo is waiting in there, along with one other empty that I've erased because I realised I hadn't opened the Caligula Diageo special release. So I have 2 spaces in the second book waiting to be finished. And I'm looking forward to... Oh, go on.
Randomly, I just put my hand up and I was like, I'm going to make a point. And I was like, I can't see that I've got my hand up to make a point.
That's those 5 samples, mate.
Did you categorise the Seaweed Neons correctly?
Yeah.
Did you put it as blended?
No, because it's yours was 2 different things, if memory serves.
Yeah, no, mine is a blend. It is not it's not whiskey. It is a blend.
Yeah, it's Isla flavours.
Yeah.
Yeah, hence the Seaweed Neon part, because it's something I put in the flavour profile. Whereas I've got 2 of them. The 10-year-old is an Isla, which is behind me actually, and the other one that I have is a Christmas one, which is a Speyside and an Isla.
Yeah, it's weird because mine is a blended whiskey rather than being a single malt or a Scotch. Scotch.
Books are in my office, but I know I categorise it because I wrote the original categorisation over a year ago. 2, in fact, when I first did that, and then forgot I didn't have it because that's when we bought it.
Yeah, because we bought them at Christmas once, didn't we?
Yeah,
We're
2 years ago.
3 for 2. We'll get these, and we never touched them.
Well, I mean, I did. I just didn't get to finish them. Anyway, no. So anyway, if anyone has any questions about these whiskies, do ask. We'd love to know in the comments on YouTube or on Discord right now, so we can answer. Otherwise, we're gonna probably disappear in a minute because I need to take Wizzy back to the house and, well, I don't know, play Pokemon for 5 minutes and then go to sleep because this will knock me out in quite a few minutes. Will you send one of the whiskies to me? No, because I can't get through Norwegian customs. If you come to the UK though, and I've got some samples, I will happily send you back with a bunch of drams of Loch Lomond's or any other whiskies. Same with David. We'd happily, we'd sort you out. Quite frankly.
Yeah, if you live in a real country, Chris, though, this wouldn't be a problem. But as you live in a weird Scandinavian land, we have issues. So yeah, come here.
Well,
Maybe we'll come up to my flat. We'll raid my supplies, and we'll send you back with a shitload of whiskey.
I'll bring supplies. No, if you
can get a cavity search on the way back into Norway or Sweden.
I'll search it. I'll search it in the flat. I'll bring some stuff with me. We'll send you home with niceness, and you can enjoy yourself because we don't give a shit. We're a sharing type. We will happily sort people out, and you're certainly one of them. Anyway, I think we're done, so I'm going to wind this down. Thanks for joining, guys. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed all the. I don't share food. Thank you for joining. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed listening. This will be on YouTube, and obviously you're on YouTube now. Obviously, hi. For those who are listening on Discord, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow.
Do you need food when you get whiskey? Well, yes, because if you have food first, you can have more whiskey before you feel the effects of the whiskey.
David was replying to another comment. Say good night, David.
Good night, mate.
Perfect. That's not what I said.
Wait, no, I got that wrong.
Yeah, you did.